Ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed faculty of Tuskegee University, a round of applause for the Tuskegee University faculty. And now, the academic deans or provost leadership organization or dean's council. A round of applause for them, please. And now, the President's Cabinet. The President's Cabinet. A round of applause, please. The Administrative Staff Council. It appears that the Administrative Staff Council has already joined us. Let's give them a round of applause, the Administrative Staff Council. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will stand at this time, please. It is my pleasure to introduce the 9th President of Tuskegee University, Dr. Charlotte Patterson Morris, and Platform Party. Let us all be seated. And now let us prepare ourselves for this observance of Fall Convocation here at Tuskegee University by way of this special prelude prepared for this occasion, Fugue in G minor by Johann Sebastian Bach, offered by Dr. Wayne Anthony Barr. A round of applause for Dr. Wayne Anthony Barr, Johann Sebastian Bach's Fugue in G minor. Let us stand for the invocation. A brief moment of silence in memory of Queen Elizabeth II, who will be funeralized tomorrow, and who will make that transition from this life until she unites eternally with the King of Kings. How blessed we are, O Eternal One, to find ourselves in thy presence, and among others observing this 141st Fall Convocation at historic Tuskegee University. As we offer our expressions of gratitude for this day, we marvel over the achievements of the past. We immerse ourselves in the promises of the present. We anticipate a future in which the best is yet to come. As we welcome with open arms the newest members of the Tuskegee University family, we do so with a sense of breaking new ground, for we have not yet become all that we shall be, nor have we seen or heard all that will be revealed, nor have we conceived all that will be made known. We pray for the faith, the abiding faith, the enduring faith, the mustard seed faith, to build upon a firm foundation, a foundation that will support a dynamic growth and development, a foundation that will undergird the pursuit of truth and justice in this society and in the world. This is our prayer as we marvel over the achievements of the past. We immerse ourselves in the promises of the present, and we anticipate a future in which the best is yet to come. Let the people of God say amen. You may be seated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the president of Tuskegee University, Dr. Charlotte Patterson Morris.
Thank you, good Dr. Gray. Good morning. Good morning. How about that 700th on yesterday? And how about that number 3? On behalf of the Tuskegee University Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and students, I'm pleased to welcome you to this 2022 Fall Opening Convocation. Thank you all for your attendance. This convocation represents an annual tradition at Tuskegee that celebrates and officially inaugurates the beginning of our fall semester. It is a time when we welcome our students back and a time when we welcome new students for the first time on our campus. It is a time when we pay homage to the faculty and staff who will lead and guide us through the year and beyond. It is also a time when we gratefully acknowledge some of our most important donors, our Eminent Associates, those individuals who make annual collective contributions to the university of more than $1 million per year. Thank you. It is a time when we celebrate our strategic plan that will ultimately embellish our campus and upgrade the academic and social environment for our students. And most importantly, it is also a time when we must deal with the realities of the pandemic and how it affects our campus. We have all struggled to find a level of comfort since the pandemic changed our lives. The damage it has caused, in concert with new diseases which always arise, we forever redefine and the state of our global existence. However, no matter how difficult the challenge, we must forge onward. We cannot give in to our instincts, which might cause us to see ourselves as victims. We are not victims trapped in an environment of hazards. We are victors. We are interacting on a campus that was the dream of our founder, who utilized the talents of his students to construct many of the buildings that our students sleep in, live in, and study in on our campus. A visionary who believed in lifting the veil of ignorance so his race could prosper. And as the recipient of the legacy he established, we are obligated to remember the wisdom in his words that character, not circumstances, make the person. This means that whether you are a student, faculty, or staff member, you must have the wisdom to recognize the best in others while always demanding the best in yourselves. In the same vein, Tuskegee University must follow suit. As an institution, we have ambitious strategic planning goals, and we want to expand the university's resources, educational programs, infrastructure, and academic offerings. Some of these plans have already materialized. Others are still in the making. Nonetheless, our efforts to brand our approach to building one Tuskegee, the overarching premise undergirding our strategic plans, are founded in three basic notions: the value of working together, an emphasis on planning for tomorrow, and the transformative power that must radiate throughout our institution if we are to maintain our status as one of America's best institutions of higher learning. These plans will undoubtedly challenge and stretch our imagination. However, I am confident we can do this, but it will take our continued commitment, resilience, and must do more hard work attitude. So be encouraged, be patient, and keep an open and heart and mind. Thank you for your support. Our program will proceed as printed. We will have greetings from the president of the SGA, Paris Clayton, and then an anthem.
Thank you, President Morris. Greeting all students, faculty, and staff, and TU family. I am Paris Clayton, a senior sales and marketing student, and I serve as the 2022-2023 student SGA president of the Prime Administration. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to our 2022 Fall Convocation. On behalf of the 2022-2023 Student Government Association, we would like to send you all our best wishes for this academic school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Barr, and the choir. And I'm sorry, the accompanists. It is my very good pleasure to introduce Dr. Harry Williams to us this morning, President and CEO of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I'm not going to recite his resume because you can read that for your own. Instead, I'm going to share with you my reasons for inviting him to be our speaker this morning. First of all, I invited Dr. Williams because he understands the importance of supporting the Black college community. He served as an HBCU president and can identify with the institutional challenges and opportunities inherent in college administration. In fact, last month, he and the staff of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund and others applauded President Biden's announcement of an extension of the student loan pause until the end of the year and forgiveness of $20,000 in student loans for Pell Grant recipients and $10,000 for all other borrowers making less than $125,000 a year. He knows that despite the pushback from some by Protestant leaders, the loan pause and forgiveness represents an important step towards lightening the debt for many, many students. Second, I traveled with Dr. Williams to Israel this past summer with 9 HBU presidents, and I was impressed with his background, his fervor, and his ability to develop the strategic corporate partnerships and national legislative victories that place the Thurgood Marshall College Fund in the forefront of every significant national legislative victory HBCUs enjoyed. Dr. Williams is a rare and talented individual who heads an organization that represents the national voice of HBCUs and other institutions, and he deserves to be acknowledged for his distinguished career and advocacy for higher education. Therefore, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Williams. He truly exemplifies the quotation on the Thurgood Marshall College Fund website, which states, "Never let the challenge quiet your courage." Please join me in giving Dr. Williams a warm Tuskegee welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Morris, President Morris. That was a great introduction. I am thrilled. I'm thrilled. I mean, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm just overjoyed to be here with you today. Students, you will appreciate this later on in life, but I get up every single day happy because I have the best job in the world. And when you have that type of happiness, you can't even put it in perspective, because it's what we strive for every single day. When you know that your job that you're doing is bigger than you. The job that you're doing is helping so many people and transforming lives. When our founder, Dr. N. Joyce Payne, had the vision to create the Thurgood Marshall College Fund 35 years ago. I want you guys to listen to this story. And I do have prepared remarks, but I just got caught up in the moment because of where we are and this historic significance of this institution and what it means to our nation, what it means to our students, what it means to the world. And to be here in this place at this moment in my life is incredible. And I'm honored that Dr. Morris had invited me to come here, because I just cannot emphasize the importance of the significance of this moment. And our founder had this vision to create an institution that would support the black college community unapologetically. Unapologetically, meaning that when you walk in the room, they know you're here to represent the black college community. And you're coming in representing students from that in that community. And when our founder went to the Supreme Court 35 years ago and actually met with Justice Marshall, had a meeting with the first Supreme Court justice, African-American Supreme Court justice, one of the best Supreme Court justices ever, an attorney for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, who argued unapologetically cases to benefit the black community and to benefit African Americans. An attorney who argued before the Supreme Court 32 times as a lawyer and won 29 of those cases. 32 times and won 29, and the majority of those cases were cases on our behalf. Someone who got up every single day, focused on that, focused on how we're gonna make our lives better, how we're gonna make our community better. And to be able to get up and to say that that's what you do every day, I cannot even put it into words. But when our founder met with Justice Marshall, I want you guys to imagine this, to have, first of all, to have the courage and have the nerve to say, I'm gonna go and meet with the Supreme Court Justice and ask him if he would lend his name to an ideal. And for him to say, I wanna invite you into my office and I wanna hear your pitch that you're gonna make. And when she only had like 10 or 15 minutes, and she made the pitch, and Justice Marshall said, why should I lend my name to your organization? And she reminded him that he was a 2-time HBCU graduate. He graduated at the top of his class at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. And then he went on to Howard University Law School. And the only reason why he went to Howard was because he was denied access to the historically white institution in the state of Maryland. And Howard was what we had at the time in terms of for legal. And when he went to Howard University, he graduated at the top of his class at Howard University. And she reminded him that we wanted a name of an organization that when we say your name, people are going to stand up and recognize. And people are going to say, that name means something. That name stands for something. It represents excellence. It represents quality. It represents the best that we have. And when you are attached to that name, people are going to stand up and they're going to make note of that. And they're going to support that name. And he said, after listening to that pitch, and I want you students to listen to what I'm going to say here, which is so significant. He said to her, yes, I agree. I will lend you my name. Called his assistant in, and his assistant to type up a letter giving Dr. George Payne the rights and the privileges to use his name to raise scholarships, to work, to interact with corporate America, for internships for our students, to provide that access, that door opener for some of us because we don't have it, and to provide access at the federal level, to be able to get in and speak with legislators about the importance of these institutions. And he said, I'm not going to charge you one dime for using my name. Think about that. I'm not going to charge you one dime. Fast forward 35 years later, by using his name, we have been able to raise more than $500 million for black students in this country. Now you think about that, the significance of that. A man who got up every day. So that's why I say I'm happy this morning. I'm happy this morning because when I leave here, and I apologize, I'm gonna have to leave a little bit early because I gotta catch a flight. We have a big competition that's taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina. 15 of our HBCUs competed to be able to participate in a program where the winners of the competition will get anywhere from, as a team, each team member could get as much as $30,000 plus an internship at a bank. And 4 of your students are competing this weekend in Charlotte of the 15. And those are the programs that we do at the Thurgood Marshall to provide exposure, to provide opportunities for students to be able to have these opportunities. And that's what's so exciting about the work that we do. That's what's so exciting about creating these opportunities for you. And Fall Convocation is a great time. There's nothing like being on a college campus in the fall. There's nothing like returning back to the campus to see what is different when you left a couple weeks ago. And when you come back, you want to see and meet with your faculty members and tell them all about what you did this past summer. And some of you have done internships, and you come in and you talk about it, and the faculty members hear you, and they encourage you, and they tell you, that is great, that is wonderful. And you hear those words, and those words are powerful words that will keep you moving forward, that will keep you moving forward in a positive direction. I have 2 boys, both of them, you saw it on the program, graduated from Howard University. And my youngest son, Gavin, when I told him I was speaking today, and he looked at the program, he said, "Dad," he said, "your program is wrong." I said, "What's wrong with the program?" He said, "Well, in the bio, it says I'm still at Howard." He said, "I graduated from Howard." He said, "Would you please tell the audience I'm now in law school at Southern University in Baton Rouge?" So I just told you he's in Baton Rouge now. And my oldest son said, your bio is wrong too. I said, "What?" "I have a granddaughter. Her name is Porter Ray. And Porter Ray is not listed. So Porter Ray is 3 years old, and there's nothing like when you become a grandparent. She's the most important thing in my life is Porter Ray, to make sure that Porter Ray end up at Tuskegee or Howard one day, because they got 101 choices. That's it. Because these institutions are incredible. And I'm just so thrilled this morning that I can share with you, students, just some words of encouragement and some words that I have lived by my whole entire life on this journey. And these are words that I have instilled in my own children. And as I stated, I have children that's related, the same age in your category. So I know what you're thinking. At least I think I know what you're thinking. I have a sense of your ambitions. I have a sense of what you want to achieve. And what I do know is that the sky's the limit in terms of your reach, in terms of your goals, in terms of your opportunities. And this place is a special place. This place represents excellence. This place represents quality. And to be able to immerse yourself in this community is a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to do this. It's a blessing to be surrounded by people that are going to do great things in this world. And that blessing, you can't keep it to yourself. And you have a responsibility, as Thurgood Marshall recognized, is when you achieve that excellence, and you will achieve excellence. You will achieve greatness. You can't keep it to yourself. You have to share it. You have to bring others along the way. And never, ever forget that from that perspective. And when I was en route to go to college, I grew up in North Carolina. I'm from a place called Greenville, North Carolina. It's the eastern part of the state. And first person in my family to go to college. And when I had the desire to go to college, one thing that motivated me to want to go to college was in the eastern part of the state of North Carolina, they have tobacco fields and they have cotton fields. And one morning, I had the privilege of working in the tobacco fields. And anybody know what you do when you call sucking tobacco? Some of the farmers should know that. It's the flower that's on top of the tobacco plant that you have to break it off. But you have to physically break it off with your hand back then. They may have technology now that where you don't have to do that. But when I was in that field, at 12 years old, walking down the field, breaking off the top of the flower and getting my fingers all sticky, I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way than this. And when I saw it, said to myself, education is that key that will change it all for you. And that education will provide you with a whole new world perspective. And when I was in that field, I said to myself, I was going to get up every day. I was going to focus. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, I'm going to work hard to get out of this situation that I'm in, because I know that you can do better. And so having that, but I had a grandmother who didn't have the former education, and I had a mother that didn't have the former education. Matter of fact, my mother had a second grade education. My father had a third grade education. But they were hardworking people, and they had values. They had values about how you treat people. They had values that you live by. And when I was getting ready to go to college, my grandmother said, Harry, when you go, I want you to have these keys embedded in you. And she said, I guarantee you, so students, I want you to hear me. She said, I guarantee you, you will be successful if you follow these keys and you follow this journey, because we all need what we call balance in life. And so when you have that balance, it gives you that perspective. And you're not agonizing on how you're moving forward. When you have that structure, you have that focus, and that's what you're here for. You're only here for 4 years, students. 4 years. I don't want anybody to tell me I'm going to do the 5-year plan or the 6. No. You're here for 4 years. And these are the best 4 years of your life right here on this campus. These memories will be with you for the rest of your life. So you enjoy it, but you also work hard. Anything worth having, you have to work for it. And when you get it, then you enjoy the fruits of it. But you have to work extremely hard to enjoy it. Nothing is going to be easy. Okay? But guess what? You will get through it. You will move forward. The faculty members, they have a responsibility to make that exam hard. That's their job. And they challenge you. But they're not making it any more difficult than they did with the student that enrolled here 30 years ago. If we have faculty members that have been here 30 years, I'm sure we got some. But it's part of their responsibility. So when you have these keys, I want you to write them down. If you don't have anything, take your iPhone out and put them in your iPhone and look at them. I guarantee you it's going to help you. This is simple. These are things that you know, but it's sometimes when you hear it from someone that's been there, it makes a difference. And I know this for a fact. My grandmother said to me, Harry, key number 1, faith. Hold on to your faith. Don't let anything challenge your faith, because your faith will get you through whatever the situation that you're going to go through. And you are going to go through some difficult situations. But that faith that motivated you to get here will be there with you through thick and thin. I guarantee you that. And you keep them in this order. Don't take them out of the order. Faith is number 1. Key number 2 for success is family. Don't let anything, let me emphasize this, don't let anything come between you and your family. Your family will be there with you in the good times and in the bad times. It is okay. It is okay to call your mother at 1 o'clock in the morning if you need to hear your mother's voice. It is okay for you to call your brother if you need him at that time. I promise you, they will be there for you. I'll never forget. As I stated, my mother had a second-grade education, but when I was in my freshman year in college, I wanted to drop out. You know why? I missed my girlfriend back home. And I wanted to be with her. I can't even remember her name right now because it was so long ago. But I called my mama. I said, Mom, I want to drop out. I want to come home. And I want to be with my girlfriend. And we were, students, I don't know if you guys do this, we were pre-engaged. You know what pre-engaged means? I gave her a ring to mean that she's going to get another ring later. That's what you call pre-engaged. It wasn't a real engagement, but it was a pre-engagement. But I wanted to be home. And only a mother can do this. Only a mother can do this. My mom said, get off this phone, go study, and don't come back and call me again about that mess. And I listened to her. Only a mother can do that. Only a mother can do that because they know you better than you know yourself. Sometimes you just need to hear her voice. Sometimes you just need to hear your dad's voice. Because my son, when he was in college, he said that the reason why he got up every morning to go to class to be there the first there because he could hear his mother in his head. That's the power of your family. So never let anything come between you and your family. I promise you, you will be successful. Key number 3, as I stated, your passion. I love this work that I do. You get up every single day, focus on your work, and your work is to get this job done here at Tuskegee. That's your job. That's your passion. Get up every day. Every day. And I know you guys are top-notch students. I know that. I've seen your profile. I know you're smart. But when you have that consistency every day, think about this. Just think about this. I was at Clark Atlanta just here recently, and I had the privilege of spending some time with Andrew Young. Andrew Young was, those of you who may not know Andrew Young, he was one of the leading figures in the civil rights era with Dr. Martin Luther King. Andrew Young is 90 years old. Mine is just as sharp as he was 25 years old. And he came up to me when we were at this event, and he was telling me, and this is related to passion. He was telling me, he said, Thurgood Marshall. He said, yes. I remember when I first met Thurgood Marshall. He said, I was a 9-year-old kid in Atlanta. And my mother said, there's this attorney. There's something that's special about him. He's arguing a case in the federal courts. And I want you to come and see this man. He said, at 9 years old, his mother said, I want you to come in here, this powerful man. And he said he went into that courtroom, and he saw this tall African-American, and he was citing these cases. He was saying case number 4, 5, 6. He was telling what page, what paragraph, where it was. He said these young clerks, they were running back in the back to get the law books to see if he was correct. And they were opening up the law books. And they went right, he said, oh, turn to page 85, right-hand corner. You see it cited there from memory. Think about that. That's talent. That is talent. And he said, that's something that's special. He said, when I saw that, I knew that I was going to work my rear end off. And he said, that's why I ended up going to Howard University. So he told me that story just here recently. So that's what, when you have that passion, it moves you to get up and work so hard. You move hard. Key number 4. I want you to set yourselves, really, really big visions. I had the privilege of walking in here with a chair of, I believe, engineering or architecture, the alum of this great institution, and he's now chairing the department. But when and he has a PhD from Temple University, and the fact you are motivated to do that because you set these big goals, set them really high. I mean, really, really high. And it's going to require you. Can you imagine the founder, Booker T. Washington, and his vision? Look at it here. So it's got to be right here. You set it really big because it's going to make you work really hard. No small goals. You set it real big. And when you set those goals, write them down. Write them down on a piece of paper. Write them down, and then you get up every day and you look at those goals. This is what my grandmother told me, and this is what I did. I told her I wanted to be a HBCU president. And I wrote that goal down on my little note card. And I kept that in my back pocket. And I still have that card. And I said I wanted to do it at a certain time frame. And I knew I needed to work hard because it's not easy to achieve something like that. It's not easy. But I said I wanted to achieve it, but you write it down. You write it down and you look at it. And when you look at it, when you start having doubts, keep moving forward. Keep going to work. Keep getting up. Because you got something that's bigger than you that's going to have a big impact. So write those goals down and make them big. And this is the great thing I want to share. Keep it to yourself. Keep it in your heart. Because sometimes when you tell people your goals, they like to throw shade on it. They like to throw some negative doubt in your head. Don't let them do that. Don't let them do that to you. You keep that to yourself because that's what's going to drive you. You ever heard the phrase, "It's lonely at the top"? That's true when you get up there because all the other people who've been trying to see you going up, they want to bring you back down because you are moving forward. And you're here. You're not here by accident. You're here at this great place. I want you to take full advantage of it because you got great faculty members, wonderful, outstanding president, leadership from the board. They're here to support you. They're here to bring you forward. They're here to make you better, better than what you are. Sometimes people can see things in you that you don't see in yourself. So don't doubt yourself because when you set them, you work. And that's what you got to do. You got to get working. And key number 5, my grandmother said, I don't care how big you get, always stay humble. Always stay humble. Because when you're humble, big things happen for you. When you're humble, big things will move for you. Yes, you're going to be successful. Yes, people are going to praise you. People are going to lift you up. But don't never let it go to your head. Don't never let it go to your head. Because just like you're being lifted up, you can also be lifted down. So make sure you stay humble through this journey that you're going on. And you enjoy it. You enjoy the journey. I love celebrating you. I love lifting you up. I love bragging about you because that's what people do. And they will continue to do that. And I promise you, you will be successful. Key number 6, when you get out in this world, opportunities will come your way. So be prepared to say yes. Be prepared to say yes. So if someone approaches you about an opportunity, don't automatically say, I don't have that, so I cannot do that. But if I approach you, that means that you can learn that. If I want you to be in my organization because I like you, because I see something in you that may take 10 years to develop, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, be prepared to say yes. Because when people approach you and you feel you have the respect for them, they'll create opportunities for you. And I guarantee you, with that flexibility, and sometimes by saying no, you're walking away from your blessings, and you will never know. You will never know. So in this role, being positive and being yes, saying yes, you can learn. That's what's so great about the mind. And I close with the final key, which I love, and my grandmother said, always be positive. Always be positive. Surround yourself with excellence. Surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with people that are going places. And when you're on a university campus, you're going places. You're going places. You're going places. And you're going to go places you've never been. You're going to experience things you have never seen. And you will create things, and others will see you. And they will be there with you. So being positive and being engaged. How many people, by a show of hands, love to hang around negative people? Zero. You want to be around people that's going to be like you. You're going to be around people that's going to lift you up. So when you surround yourselves with those individuals, I guarantee you, you will be successful. So I leave you with these 7 keys. As I stated, I got them real early in life, and I listened to it. And they have helped me throughout my journey, even today. So I want you to know that I am so proud of all of you and the success that you have already achieved by earning the right to be at this historic institution. Now you're just beginning that journey. So get used to people saying great things about you. Get used to the excellence that will continue to flow in your life, because you will achieve what you have set out for you. Have a great year. I look forward to seeing you applying for the Thurgood Marshall College Fund Scholarship. Thank you very much.
My soul in the bosom, Lord, just a rock, rock off me in the bosom of heaven. Won't you rock me, Lord? Won't you rock me, Lord? Won't you rock me, Lord? Rock me, Lord, rock me, Lord. Rockin' me, Lord, yes, Lord. Won't you rock my soul? Oh, oh, won't you rock my soul? Rock my soul. Rock my soul. Rock my soul. Oh, won't you rock it? You rock, Lordy, rock my soul. My soul, won't you rock it? You rock, Lordy, rock my soul. My soul.
Let's give our choir another hand clap of praise here. Dr. Williams, I tell you, you did just what we wanted you to do. I hope our freshman students in particular were listening, and all of us in general, because there was a message there for each one of us. So thank you so much for that speech for us. At this time, we will have, and as I indicated, well, as he indicated, Dr. Williams is going to have to leave us, and we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to thank him for his presentation prior to his departure. He has a 2:20 flight out of Atlanta, so we want to make sure he makes it, because if he doesn't make that one, he won't get to where he's going today. So thank you so much. At this time, we are asking Ms. Abina Myers-Taylor to come and present our student leadership.
Good morning. I have the honor and privilege of presenting our student leaders for 2022-2023, and I would like to start this morning with our Student Government Association. Our president, Paris Clayton from Atlanta, Georgia. Please stand. Vice President Kennedy Grace Jackson, Montgomery, Alabama. Judicial Advisor Brianna Bynum, Greenville, Georgia. Events Coordinator Majanae Fesser, Portland, Oregon. Treasurer Courtney Hughes, Birmingham, Alabama. Chief of Staff Mignon Miller, Portland, Oregon. Secretary Jemiah McNeil, Tuskegee, Alabama. Director of Marketing Deamber Louder, Montgomery, Alabama. Elections Commissioner Chloe Sims, Birmingham, Alabama. Miss SGA Brianna Miles, Selma, Alabama. Mr. SGA Keith Kimbrough II, East St. Louis, Illinois. Thank you. Next, we have our student trustee, Jaya White, Atlanta, Georgia. Miss Tuskegee University and attended. Miss Tuskegee University, Alea Barbara, Lithonia, Georgia. Attended Zion Hill, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Mr. Tuskegee University and gentlemen, Mr. Tuskegee University, Deshaun Dubose, Monroeville, Alabama. Gentlemen, Mr. Wallace Bass, Carthage, Mississippi. Thank you. Our university ambassadors, President Albany Hornbuckle, Birmingham, Alabama. Vice President Kennedy Luster, Pleasant Grove, Alabama. Secretary and Treasurer Clenisha White, Jackson, Mississippi. Education and Social Events Chair Destiny Johnson, West Palm Beach, Florida. Community Service Chair Dorian Valentine, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Social Media Manager Nevada Jones, Brandon, Mississippi. Miss Ambassador and Senator Kennedy Hood, Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Ambassador Diallo Patterson, Atlanta, Georgia. Alea Barber, Atlanta, Georgia. Anthony DeGray, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Antonio Andrews, Atlanta, Georgia. Aaron Jackson, Marietta, Georgia. Harper Lee, Augusta, Georgia. Hassan Louis Majid, Cleveland, Ohio. Jalen Carlisle, Jonesboro, Georgia. Jalen Irvin, Montgomery, Alabama. Jayla Garrett, Fort Worth, Texas. Jessica Halsey, McCalla, Alabama. Reagan Holly, Montgomery, Alabama. Ryan Campbell, Tuskegee, Alabama. Shania Kelly, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Shayla Brown, Detroit, Michigan. Taj Jones, Anniston, Alabama. Troy Maxwell, Atlanta, Georgia. And Yasmin Oliver, Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you, student leaders. We look forward to working with you this academic year, and much success.
Thank you. And thank you, students, for the work that you do at Tuskegee University. At this time, you heard me mention the Eminent Associates, so I'm calling on Mr. Solomon Banks, who is the chair of the Eminent Associates, and Kimberly Holland to make a presentation.
Good morning. Before Mr. Banks comes up and introduces the Eminent Associates and gives a check, I'd like to acknowledge the Pre-Alumni Council members, well, the Pre-Alumni Council Executive Board. We have the President, Quinetta Baldwin, Columbus, Georgia. Vice President, Ari Sneed, Snellville, Georgia. Treasurer, Jordan Kennel, Dawson, Georgia. Secretary, Chakayla Perry, Kennesaw, Georgia. Membership Chair, Mackenzie Harefoot, Huntsville, Alabama. Miss UNCF, Brittany Woodard, Thomaston, Georgia. Mr. UNCF, Taji Jones, Anniston, Alabama. Senator Jalen Graves, Vallejo, California. Parliamentarian Jeremy Jones, Birmingham, Alabama. Programming and Planning Chair Zoe McNeil, San Diego, California. Fundraising Chair Sanaya Austin, Oakland, California. These are our Pre-Alumni Council e-board for the 22-23 school year. We'll now have Mr. Banks come up for the presentation by the Eminent Associates.
Good morning, everyone. I bring you greetings from all Eminent Associates worldwide. The Eminent Associates was organized over 50 years ago to assist Tuskegee University in its long-range development programs and to provide sustained financial contributions. Membership is open to all alumni and friends. Our meeting is held on campus at the beginning of each academic year, immediately prior to the Fall Convocation. I would like at this time for all Eminent Associates who are in attendance to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. During our meeting held yesterday afternoon, we met with Dr. Morris and Dr. Hargrove to discuss the business of the operation and to set or establish financial goals. For fiscal year 2023, we set a goal to contribute $1.5 million. We have every indication that we'll achieve that goal. Toward that goal, we will be presenting an initial check, symbolic check, this morning. This check is in the amount of $240,952.
Thank you so much for the check, and thank you for your ongoing contributions to Mother Tuskegee. It's appreciated very much. At this time, I want to recognize some individuals in our audience. Mayor Haygood, thank you so much for coming. Would you stand, please? Thank you. Do we have any other local or state officials in the audience? If so, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, Mayor Haygood, for your support of our programs and services here as we continue our cooperation with the city. We have the President of the National Alumni Association, Ms. Lily Lanier. Thank you for coming and for your support. And I want to introduce those persons who are members of the President's Cabinet or Administrative Board. Dr. Keith Hargrove, Provost. Dexter Odom, Vice President for Business Affairs and CFO. Philip Howard, I think, is not here. He's on another assignment in DC. Crystal James, General Counsel and VP for External Affairs. Abraham George, CIO. Cassandra Tava Ross, CHR, Chair of Human Resources. And of course, you met Abina Miles Taylor, who is our interim VP for Student Affairs. Thank you all. Now I want to invite all of the deans to please stand, all of the deans. Thank you. And please forgive me, our newest member of the Board of Trustees and representing the National Alumni Association, Natalie Knight. Was looking right at you and still let it slip by. Forgive me for that. Thank you. Are there any other officials that we need to recognize at this time? Thank you, and thank you all for your continued cooperation, for the work that you do, and for your support of this institution. We couldn't do it without all of you, so thank you so much. At this time, we're going to stand and sing the Tuskegee song, after which we will have the benediction. We are asking all of you to remain in place until the platform participants are out. Thank you so much.
Tuskegee, our pride, our swift rolling
Go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all humanity, for the sake of which we pray.